We've got breaking news from the Middle East, and this is significant. Moments ago, the Israeli military saying that it conducted a strike
in Doha, Qatar, were captured by security cameras, followed by another in the front.
He adds it was the lone decision of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
It now appears that Israel is saying that they are responsible.
At noon today, I convened the heads of Israel's security organizations and authorized a surgical precision strike on the terrorist chiefs of Hamas.
It's a bold move that has shaken the Middle East and left analysts questioning the balance of power in the region. For the first time, Israel's Air Force struck inside Qatar, targeting Hamas leadership in the heart of Doha. Cities once considered safe diplomatic havens, where ceasefires were negotiated, hostages released, and truce plans drafted, suddenly found themselves in the crosshairs. The operation, carried out jointly by the IDF and Shin Bet, missed its primary targets, Khalil al-Hayya and Khalid Mashal, but claimed the lives of several mid-ranking Hamas officials, disrupting one of the last viable channels for Gaza ceasefire talks. Qatar has long walked a fine line, hosting U.S. forces at Al Udeid, the Middle East's largest airbase, while mediating conflicts involving Hamas. This delicate balance made Doha indispensable for regional diplomacy. Yet, Israel's strike has upended that stability. Ceasefire negotiations are weakened, U.S. security guarantees undermined, and a warning set that no location, no matter how diplomatically safe, can be taken for granted. Complicating matters are conflicting reports about whether the U.S. was informed in time and the technical complexity of the operation itself, including long-range missile launches and potential mid-air refueling. Questions about coordination, approval, and the silence of Qatar's advanced defenses leave analysts speculating. Before we dive into how Israel carried out the operation and how the strike may have backfired, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss our amazing upcoming content. Israel's strike on Doha was a highly precise and complex operation, far from a simple air raid. To reach Qatar, Israeli F-35s traveled roughly 1,700 kilometers one day, crossing Jordanian and Saudi airspace before launching long-range, over-the-horizon missiles from a safe distance. The stealth constraints of the jets prevented external fueling tanks, making mid-air refueling essential, likely involving U.S. Central Command tankers. At the same time, a British Voyager tanker took off from Qatar, lingering in the skies for hours. Some speculated it refueled the Israeli jets, but technical incompatibilities between the Voyager's probe and drogue system and the F-35's flying boom make this unlikely. Reports suggest the jets avoided Arab airspace entirely, flying over the Red Sea to approach Doha from the far side of the Arabian Peninsula. From there, they fired ballistic missiles that arced into low Earth orbit before striking their targets. Even then, U.S. space-based infrared sensors would have detected the launch, indicating at least tacit approval from Washington. Perhaps most surprising was the silence of Qatar's defenses. The country possesses advanced systems, Patriot, THAAD, NISAMs, Skynet batteries, and fighter fleets including F-15s, Rafales, and Eurofighters. Yet, none were activated. This suggests Qatari leadership, like the U.S. administration, may have known in advance or felt compelled to allow the strike. Public verification is impossible. We can only speculate. Qatar has now been targeted by both Iran and Israel within months. Iran's June strike on Al Udeid airbase was telegraphed, allowing preparation and minimizing casualties. Israel's strike, by contrast, arrived with far less warning. Conflicting accounts about whether the U.S. informed Doha in time raise further questions about coordination and prior knowledge. Even if the operation missed its top targets, the message was clear. Israel will strike perceived threats anywhere. As its ambassador bluntly stated, "If we didn't get them this time, we'll get them next time." Qatar's role as a host for Hamas began in 2010, prompted by the United States and implicitly Israel, providing a secure venue for mediation. Doha became a hub for negotiations, overseeing hostage releases, ceasefire plans, and meetings with leaders like Khalid Mashal. and Khalil al-Hayya, who were often based in the city during the Gaza War. Over time, however, Qatar's effectiveness as a mediator declined. Stalled negotiations frustrated both U.S. and Israel, leading to criticism of Doha's close ties to Hamas. By October 2023, Qatari diplomats were already discussing scaling back relations with Hamas, signaling the city's growing view of the group as more of a liability than an asset. Some successes occurred, like the temporary ceasefire in November 2023 that freed over 100 hostages and a January 2025 truce that collapsed within 2 months. Since then, talks have stalled, and Israeli leaders, including Netanyahu, accused Doha of failing to pressure Hamas. By November 2024, Qatar had paused its mediator role, resuming only under pressure from the incoming Trump administration, a scenario of damned if you do, damned if you don't. The Israeli strike has now all but destroyed any hope for a ceasefire. Hamas is expected to harden its stance, while Qatar faces mounting pressure to expel Hamas leaders to avoid further strikes and U.S. criticism. Without active mediation, Doha becomes more vulnerable, as Israel has shown it will target perceived threats abroad. U.S. protection has proven unreliable. Twice in a year, against Iran and Israel, Washington failed to defend Qatari airspace. As a result, Doha may look to new security partners, including Turkey, while strengthening ties with Saudi Arabia and the UAE. In 2017, Turkey helped during the blockade, and its forces could again play a larger role. Ultimately, Qatar's political power is limited. Wealth can provide influence, but in matters of regional security, money alone may no longer be able to protect the country or its delicate mediator role. Israel's strike on Doha aimed to target Hamas leaders Khalil al-Hayya and Khalid Mashal, who were reviewing a U.S. ceasefire proposal. Both survived, but at least 5 mid-ranking officials were killed, possibly destroying the last channel for Gaza ceasefire talks. For years, Qatar had served as a hub for mediation, hosting negotiations, hostage releases, and ceasefire plans, while also housing the U.S.'s largest airbase, Al Udeid. The strike disrupted all of this, undermining negotiations, U.S. security guarantees, and the assumption the Hamas meeting had been initiated by Trump, fueling claims it may have been a trap to lure the leaders. Hamas accused the U.S. of complicity, though coverage was limited, with nearly half of 97 reporting outlets leaning right, raising concerns about biased narratives. Qatar now faces a rare distinction. Bombed by both Iran and Israel within months, Iran's June 2024 strike was telegraphed, allowing preparation. Israel's attack was far less clear. The White House said it observed Israeli jets, but was informed only after the operation began. Qatari officials denied timely warning, raising questions about coordination. Logistically, Israeli F-35s crossed Jordanian and Saudi airspace and launched long-range missiles, requiring in-flight refueling, likely from U.S. tankers. Qatar's advanced air systems, Patriot, THAAD, Nissams, Skynets, and fighter jets remained inactive, hinting at prior knowledge or compulsion. Israel's ambassador emphasized, if we didn't get them this time, we'll get them next time, signaling potential future strikes. Qatar's mediator role has waned. Hosting Hamas without active negotiation increases risk. U.S. military presence has proven unreliable. To bolster defense, Qatar is now turning to nuclear-armed Pakistan and may also expand reliance on Turkish forces, who have been stationed in the country since the 2017 blockade. Despite its wealth, Qatar's political influence is limited, and strategic military partnerships have become crucial. Ultimately, Israeli strike failed to remove Hamas leadership, but reshaped regional dynamics, exposed vulnerabilities in supposed safe havens, undermined U.S. protection, and pushed Qatar to seek stronger defense partnerships, marking a potential turning point in Middle East geopolitics. Want more fascinating insights like this? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our channel. Also, press that bell icon so you never miss out on our amazing content.